Welcome to Stacking the Dealer, the podcast where we talk cars, sales strategy, and what it takes to win in the auto industry. No fluff, no corporate scripts, just real conversations from inside the dealership world. Anthony, I know we've spoken quite a bit recently. We've got some cool stuff working, but this is going to be our first podcast with a vendor on here. So I'm really excited. I know that was one of the content that most of our folks were looking forward to. And I think it's kind of like going to some of these conferences where I know at NIDA, I was able to talk to a whole bunch of people in a situation that would have taken me 2 weeks to get demos and just ruin my day. And sometimes about 5 minutes into it, you realize, well, this isn't going to work for me. And you got to go through the whole demo because you just feel like my son's here in the room, but you feel like canceling on the guy or getting off early or whatever. So this is a great opportunity for us to showcase some of these vendors that we're looking at, we're interested in, that might have some value for somebody else. And this particular one I'm really interested in because, Anthony, it's somebody or something that you and I have talked ad nauseum about. And so this is pretty cool.
That's exciting. So I think, Samuel, you do some damage detection, right? Or video picture analysis. That's basically the way that ETX works.
Yeah. So we do damage detection and damage assessment. And I like to make that differentiation because you've got your Halo systems out there that do damage detection. And okay, now what? You're just identifying something's wrong here. We translate that damage detection into bona fide real world collision estimates. And dollarize it from parts to labor to everything that goes into a traditional collision estimate.
So my first question, because I know it's something that we've struggled with, I just was recently trying to train Claude to go through my entire website and find bad photos. Guy took a photo of something dirty or took a photo where it's too dark and light. And I really struggled with getting something that was good and consistent. So the picture analysis is just fascinating to me. And I can see how, and you probably already have body shops, insurance companies on the used car side, as we're looking at cars at the auction to buy. I mean, all sorts of use cases for this. I mean, my mind just starts going a million miles an hour. So this is pretty cool to me.
Yeah. So, nuts and bolts, we take images, we scan the van, take images, and we create a collision estimate. And, it's a very simple value proposition. I mean,
so you have to have a couple things. How high resolution does the image have to be?
Anything from an iPhone to Android.
Cool. And then you've got to have some sort of data source where you're getting labor times and cost for hard parts, et cetera. How do you do that?
We build it off of real world historical data. So I don't want to get too much into that part because it is.
I just know on the body shop side, a lot of, especially the OEM stuff, the prices are variable. Or I know with General Motors, they wouldn't even give the price was day to day because they're shopping the Korean knockoffs and that sort of thing with RepairLink and all of that stuff. So I know sometimes getting that data can be difficult. Do you price based off OEM? Do you price based off of aftermarket or whatever the customer wants?
We do both. So we'll do a prediction, but you can go in and you can change aftermarket to OEM. Okay. But where we find, when we train it off historical data, right? So we have a predictive pricing model that we can, all the stuff that goes into it, and it's not live pricing, but what we find is that we're close enough on the pricing where it's not going to be like a massive discrepancy.
It's not prohibitive. It keeps moving it forward.
And when you look holistically at all of the different repair orders, parts pricing is not even the largest determinant of what's going to drive up the value of the estimate. It's all the other things that go into that. Taking off when you have to fix a bumper, all of the associated R&I operations, the ADAS calibrations that go into. There's a lot of other things that go into that final price, and we simply want we just want to get an estimate. We want a good, solid estimate that's not going to be if a whole bunch of, it's not going to be a lot over and it's not going to be a lot under. We're prepping the customer. Yeah, we don't want to replace estimators. So I don't want to get, I'll just keep going, but our thought process and our viewpoint is this. Body shops cannot generate revenue. What do they do? How do body shops get paid? They get paid by labor hours. And they make hardly any money off of any margin off of parts. That's mostly going to the parts department if you're at a dealership. They get paid off of hard labor hours. And that's the only thing they get paid off of. And so every other activity other than billable labor hours is, not revenue generating. It's required, but it's just not revenue generating. And to even begin to have billable labor hours, you got to start with an estimate. Well, how do you get an estimate? Well, you got to have an estimator. Well, who is an estimator? It's an individual who is trained, typically 5 to 10 years, somewhere in between there, in a process that can take anywhere between 20 and 30 minutes. That is the top of the funnel. You cannot, and that is when
can't even start.
That is when the customer drives to your body shop too. So they have to go to your body shop just to get that.
So you can, I'm assuming, get the estimate with the customer in their own driveway with pictures? Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Now, let me ask you this, and I imagine you have a predictive model built on this, but supplements, obviously, a really big thing. Mm-hmm. So do you have, something like an accident that looked like this has a 86% chance of having a $2,000 supplement or whatever?
We do. I mean, we get visibility, and historically speaking, so we get visibility, so we get to see an estimate from when it starts to, the final. If there's a 6th supplement, we get to see all those things in between there, and it helps us, and again, I don't want to get too deep into the technical side, but we get to categorize things like that, and so we get to build a little predictive analysis off of, okay, severity level X on a front end damage or front right corner here. Well, we know that there are cameras here, and when a dent looks this big, then it's probably going to need XYZ. I mean,
and then I imagine the more data, like most of them, the more data you get, just the smarter and the smarter it gets.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Is it possible, I'll edit this out, is it possible to do a demo live on here? Is it possible to see the tool?
I pre-recorded a demo. It's interactive, so I can definitely show that. I was prepared. So I do want to, this is not, I think this is very important. We sell a product. It's a product, but what we're selling around the product, and specifically, we talk a lot about the body shop, and we are a body shop tool. But where we are finding the biggest stickiness is with dealerships with body shops. And we even think this applies to dealerships without body shops as well. And so, yes, we have a product, but we're selling a collision lifecycle program. And I want to paint a little picture for everyone here. Let's say I'm at a Ford dealership. I buy from, Ford dealership A. Let's just make a name up. Sam Batters Ford. There we go. I buy from Batters Ford. I get in my nice F-150 and I leave. A year later, that's just it. They talk about warranties. I get stuff for my transmission. Everything that goes into buying the car. Got it. Anything mechanically related, I'm going to go back here. I got some products for it. Now, a year and a half later, I get in a wreck. And what insurance companies do a great job of doing is no matter where you are, no matter what you're watching on TV, you're going to see some State Farm, your Progressives, you're going to see all your insurance. And somehow, some way, they have convinced people that when you get in a wreck, you need to call your insurance to find out where you get your vehicle fixed. I don't know how they did this. They're billions. I don't know how they did this.
If I have to get money.
If I have to get a medical operation, I don't call my medical insurance and say, hey, which doctor should I go to get this surgery performed? I go find the best doctor to get the surgery performed. So I think
one of the things, just real quick, not to interrupt you, but one of the things that's really interesting, I've had a body shop for 14 years. And this is really interesting because one of my best friends owns a body shop that primarily works for insurance. And we do some customer work, but they're basically our customers. So they get into an accident. And a lot of times our customers will say, I want to go to Hempstead Pre-Owned. And even when they say that, the insurance company tries to push back, hey, go to this place instead. And the reason that they do that is because these insurance companies have more control over the people that they're sending them to, because they can kind of dictate the terms more. Like, you're gonna only charge
Yes.
us this. You're
Yes.
gonna use this part. Yeah. So
Yes.
very
It's
familiar with that process, and
it's
it's
a
very
cartel.
frustrating.
It's a
Yes.
It
cartel.
is
It's
cartel. It's a great.
unethical.
Yep.
And they'll well what you'll hear a lot, they'll be using alternative workflows. They're just trying to get more money out of you. And like, no, they're trying to fix the car correctly, which is coming out of your bank account, Mr. Insurance Company. And so
Yeah. I mean,
it's
so I
leaving
tell
them.
some people sometimes there's the things that when I had a body shop that the body or the insurance companies wanted us to do. If the customer knew how that sausage was made, they would absolutely freak out. And State Farm's probably one of the worst.
So let's go keep going down this line. I'm my F-150. I call my insurance. They tell me to go to a DRP shop. This DRP shop is not Ford certified, or they're just not associated with the dealership at all, or the OEM at all. And so I go, take my car there. They put me in a Dodge Ram. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know Dodge Rams were this nice. This is a nice car. I'm driving. Okay.
Interesting.
Insurance is buying aftermarket parts for your Ford, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But the consumer, I don't know anything. All I'm hearing from the body shop is, the part's delayed. Well, why would I drive Ford again if something happens to my car? I can't even get parts from Ford. So every bad association that's happening now is being associated with the Ford OEM brand. And by the way, I'm driving this nice new Dodge Ram too. Like, I didn't even think they made them like this. So when it comes time to buying a new vehicle, what do you think I'm going with? I already have a negative association. And it's just any negative association is getting tied back to that OEM, unfortunately. And so how we position this with the dealerships is you need to have a collision lifecycle plan, like whether you have a body shop or not. And where we're seeing this happen is in the service drive most consistently. We just talked about insurance and how unethical they are. Well, if I file a claim, my rates can go up 50% for 3 years. That's a lot of money. On top of that, my car is getting diminished value as well. On top of that, I also raised my deductible from $500 to $1,500 so that I don't have to pay so much money on my premium. And so these macro kind of movements that are happening, people do not want to talk to their insurance. And our data is telling us that. Our field data down to the consumer and down to our customer level is telling us that. They just don't want to talk to the insurance. Furthermore, they're associating body shops with insurance as well. So I'll tell you a quick story that kind of accentuates this point. As one of our customers ran a bunch of estimates in the morning, 22 to be specific, 22 estimates, that's 22 leads in the morning from the service drive. That's good. And we're seeing anywhere between 10 to 20% conversion rate. Of those, he closed 4 of them. A 5th one was a fleet account, which he booked for fleet business, so it's not a booked repair, but he booked a fleet account. But of those 4 that he closed, 2 of them were insurance. And why did he get them to file an insurance? Well, because they didn't want to. It was a headache for the consumer. Like, oh, I have to call insurance if I want to get this fixed.
Wow.
This is gonna. I can't I don't know, or I don't even know if I should file an insurance. I don't know enough yet. So what am I going to do? I'm just not going to do anything. I can drive my car. It looks like crap, but I can drive it. And so by the body shop simply positioning itself outside of the insurance and positioning itself as part of the trusted dealership brand, which the dealerships do a great job of building already, he was able to convert these people into booked repairs. And some of them filed on insurance as well because he associated himself with a trusted, I'm here for you, I'm going to handle insurance for you. So that's what we mean by building a collision lifecycle program for these dealerships.
So you had lost me a little bit as you were going, then I think I caught back up at the end. Basically, what you're saying is if you're a dealership that has a body shop, or maybe you don't, but let's just go with the ones that do it first. You set your customers up to understand in the beginning, hey, you don't have to go through the insurance. If you get into an accident, you can reach out to us. And then what you're doing is you're having this tool write the estimates, do the damage report to help the dealerships to have a better process. And I think I'm hearing you right in saying that there's a way for a customer to take the pictures and do it without ever bringing the car in, which makes it ultra convenient. And this is a technology that most of the insurance companies don't have yet.
I think I think they do have their own AI tools.
Yeah.
They're always inconsistent, and I mean, you could write a perfect estimate and send it to insurance, and you're looking at something completely different after insurance gets done with it. But I don't hear any good stories about insurance AI estimating. We are not built for insurance. We don't share any data. We are built for body shops, specifically, the dealership as well.
So is this a convenience thing for the customers and the body shop? And basically what you do is you sign the dealer up and then you say, hey, if someone calls you up and they want an estimate, rather than you having to come all the way out here and do an estimate, they can use our program, take pictures of the car, and we can do the estimate. We can do the estimate virtual. Is that basically how it works, Sam?
That is a use case. We're seeing, we suggest, and we have people that run estimates on all the cars coming through service that have damage. And so you might be coming in for an oil change or a warranty or a recall or you name it, all the reasons why you might be coming into service, because all those kind of macro factors that we talked about, 40% of those vehicles have some kind of cosmetic damage on them. And the reasons why, we talked about why they haven't gotten it fixed yet. And so what we're doing is estimates are getting written. You don't need to ask the customer. You're just writing it. You don't ask the customer if we can check your transmission fluid when they come in for an oil change. So you're getting full capture of all the damage. And, that's now how that gets presented to the consumer is dealership orientated, process orientated. Some dealerships want to have the body shop look at it and then they print it off and put it in their little packet. Some dealerships have their body shops calling the customer directly. But it's, hey, we saw when you came to Batters Ford for your oil change or for your service visit, we noticed you had some body damage. Here at Batters Ford, we take care of all your car's needs. We give you 360-degree protection. We noticed you have some body damage. We wrote a complimentary estimate for you. Body shop's going to reach out to you and just let you know what your options are. And they're like, oh, wow. You know what one of the biggest answers we hear? I didn't even know you had a body shop.
Wow.
And it's right behind the building. I mean,
So, Sam, I think you want to give us a live demo. We'd be very interested in kind of seeing the product, how it works. So Josh and I are excited to look at it and talk to you about it.
So this is the dashboard. You've got your 30 days, different times here that you can look at. This is the total identified opportunity. So this is all the cars that we've written estimates for, the total dollar amount within this 30-day period. Maybe after the demo, maybe I can show you a little dashboard of what we're seeing in the field too, just to dollarize it some more, because this is my account. But there we go. So you click on the lane. That's going to take you to all your open estimates, a snapshot of what you're looking at, average estimate value, estimated gross profit. This is built off of basic industry standards, like 25% on parts. I don't have them all memorized, but these are just basic margins. Stuff coming from your service drive, consumer intake. This is what we were talking about. You can text them a link. They call the dealership or they call the body shop after hours. We can automatically send them a link as well. Just getting this to the consumer. This is the consumer intake aspect of it. So here is your pipeline. These are the different stages of the estimate. So once you get the estimate, now what? Now what are you doing? So we said earlier, 40% of the vehicles have damage. So if you have 100 cars coming through a day, that's 40 vehicles that should have estimates for. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work, and there's a lot to do there. That's a lot of work. I mean, you're 10 to 20% conversion rate on that is good. I mean, that's what we're seeing. And then OEM demographics, where you are in the market, all that plays into the conversion rate as well. But anywhere between 10 and 20%. But you're still having to go through a lot. So we have to, we want to give a different workflow when you get those estimates so you can stay organized. So from here, you get to see where all the estimates are. Pending, as body shop has not reviewed it yet. Confirmed, body shop confirms all the information is good. In progress, reaching out to the consumer. This is not in production yet, but we're doing automated text and emails. So when you put it in progress, we'll put them on a text campaign, like 3 texts over 5 days. Scheduled, self-explanatory, completed, repairs completed, declined. I say decline today is not decline tomorrow. There's a number of reasons why they might not have gotten it fixed today. Maybe they can't afford it. Well, the damage isn't going anywhere. It's not going. It's not magically fixing itself. It's there, and that's coming out of your pocket somehow. You're either trading it in and you're getting it knocked off your trade-in value, or you're going to file an insurance. You're going to get hit with all the stuff that comes with filing an insurance, or you're getting it fixed at the body shop. And so we have a longer-term nurture campaign for declined. On the dealership side, we can build used car trade-in messaging for the declined as well. But you click on pending, it takes you to all the estimates there. Just some more KPIs, seeing where everything is. Sales by category, labor parts, paint materials, sublet. We have it broken down by profit as well. Estimate value distribution. Mine, again, is not built off of actual dealership data. A lot of mine is body shop data. But we are seeing the average repair order at the dealership and the service drive is $2,800. So this is not PDR work.
Wow.
This is not PDR work. This is not, low dollarized amount. This is considerable opportunity. We have our parts here. Break it down by component as well. Makes and models. For dealerships specifically, we'll have this broken down. No, we'll have it broken down by make and model. I think mine's just at the OEM level. Yeah, it is. Paint. And usage. Who's using it and when? So active users. We move so fast, I would have to shoot this again by the end of next week because it's going to be drastically different and better. Like, we're giving a lot better analytics into the usage and the adoption. We really preach about advisors or individuals doing this in their service drive. And so we have really created the Duolingo approach to usage. So we have competitions. Advisors get to see how much they've made from the incentives. So they have their own little wallet.
Kind of gamifying it a little bit.
Yeah, very gamifying it. There's a leaderboard. You get to see, okay, I wrote 10 last week. 3 of those are approved by the body shop. 4 of those were declined by the customer. 2 of those were completed. So they get paid more on the completion rates.
Can I ask a question? Are you having anyone compare your system's process to a handwritten process, and how close are they, up or down usually?
We're very close.
Okay.
We're very, very, very close. I mean, I do in-person demos, and I had the collision guy. I won't name him because I don't know if he is the man in collision repair in South Florida. And I went and what I'll typically do for dealerships, because this is new. Like, this is a new process. This is something new. I say, hey, I get it. This is a lot to take in. I'll come in, I'll run the tool myself for half a day, and we'll dollarize the opportunity for you, and then we'll see what these numbers look like, and if that makes sense.
You run it side by side with them doing estimates in the normal way that they do it, and compare it at the end, and you're very close. I think people would be super interested, and I don't know if you can do this in this setting, but I think people would be super interested in seeing that, because I know that I am. I mean, I think like seeing that would be really cool. So how that process works.
So this is how you actually do it. I did this on my computer, so I can't show you the camera, but you click on the camera, it opens up your camera app, and you just scan the barcode. Continue to photos. Again, you click on add photos, it pulls up the camera app, and you just snap the photos. We run it through a filter. You can see.
Question, and this is going to jump a little bit off topic, kind of back into what we're doing. When you take a picture of the photos, I can see here these photos are super clear, very nice photos, and close up of the damage. I'm going to ask you kind of a off-topic question that doesn't really have to do with your tool, and then we'll come back. From an auction photo, if you're standing a little bit further back and the images are not as good, and maybe you can't answer this, how do you feel the tool would perform with something like that? Because earlier in the conversation, you said a good iPhone or Samsung, and even though, a lot of the auctions are multi-billion-dollar companies, they have not yet figured out how to take good photos.
I've never run on auction photos, so I'm confident. I mean, we have our own proprietary computer vision models. It's not trained off of auction photos, so I know we got good models. Yeah.
I didn't expect you to be able to answer that question. It just was something I was curious about. Okay, go ahead, keep going. So you got the
inner salesman in me who says, "Yeah, we're going to do great," but I mean, I stick myself. We are a data company. We are not an AI company. People call us we're a data company, and I know what data we consist of. And I mean, I think we would perform well. I've never done it, so I wouldn't know. So we run it through a filter. Looks clean. There's a retake one there. I think I show it here right after this. You click on it. Too close. Stand back so the whole damaged area is in view. We have solve this problem. I won't tell you how, but you can take a full picture of the car, and then the data that your phone gives off, we can pinpoint where you are taking the photo on the car based off of that, based off of how you're moving and your compass and a lot of other things. So this will be solved very soon. Fill out the customer information. This is the longest part of the process, is filling out the customer information. And send for estimate. And that's all this person does. So I'm pulling up the estimate now. Okay. So the estimate's getting built in the background for the demo purposes. I went ahead and jumped right to it, but it takes anywhere between 2 and 3 minutes.
Okay. So the estimate on this vehicle is between $4,900 and $5,500. Does it anywhere give you a detailed view of how it got to that?
Yes. So in our pipeline view, I showed you earlier, we've got the statuses. So pending, confirmed, so you can change it from here. We also have a Kanban view that you can drag and drop it.
I will tell you this, from understanding the body shop business and understanding how estimates are worked, this is much, 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 much faster than doing it by hand.
Yeah.
And if you're, I mean, what do you think your percentage from an inaccuracy standpoint is?
We're around 80%. We're around 80%. In the Florida market, a lot of people might get mad at me. In the Florida market, the human estimator accuracy is 56%.
Wow. Let me ask you this. What about hail? That's something that I deal with a lot here and in pictures. Like when I buy hail unit cars at the auction, I just avoid it so much because they'll have a picture of a car. I'll look at the picture and go, that car looks perfect.
How do
And
we
then
handle hail?
it's not
Yeah.
perfect.
Um, I mean, we would do traditional body work.
No, I just mean from an estimating standpoint, because I can look at a car in pictures and go, I don't see any hail.
Yeah.
And I mean, as you know, you could have $1,000 hail job or a $10,000 hail job. And in
I
the
think
picture,
what he's asking, Sam, is how good is your tool at picking up hail damage, little bumps that might not necessarily be seen by the human eye, I guess would be the.
Yeah. So our we're kind of getting into the hardware versus the software. Um, we're only good as the images that we get. And the hardware are your companies like the UVI and the Halo companies, which those do a good job of getting, because there's more than just the image. It's the lighting, it's the angle of the camera, it's all those things that go into it. Again, I don't have. I think when I'm doing an install, I tell people if I can't see it in the image, then the AI can't see it. That's just to play it safe. But I mean, I think it does a really good. I mean, to me, it does a really good job. I mean, we pre-labeled all of our own data. Like we ran thousands and thousands and thousands of images through our models. We hand labeled a large majority of them. So I think we do a really good job. But for what you're talking about, a lot of it has to come down into lighting, and it has to come
yeah.
down to the contour of the vehicle and the angle of the camera. Which if you get the phone and you like, I won't. Sometimes I'll be straight on the quarter panel and you can't see it, and then I just kind of start to move a little like this, and then you can start to see it, and that's how I train people to take the
Yeah.
photos.
Josh and I are very familiar with that from, buying as many
Yeah,
cars we buy a week
yeah,
and showing up and looking differently than they did in the pictures. Can I see the breakdown of the
yeah.
4972 and 5500?
So let me go back. Okay. So we hit edit. I'm getting to the full estimate, so I just want to take everyone through. You can edit this. You can add and remove components. This is, you asked about aftermarket and OEM. This is where you click the little drop-down button here. You can change that. You can remove components. You can add components. So this is where you can get eyes on and change some things for you. If you want to firm up the estimate even more, you can change some of the labor hours. You can remove some of the operations, and you do that all right here.
So your
Okay.
main client is body shops, dealerships with body shops. Man, I mean, there's a potential client for used car managers.
Yes, yes. I mean, we have a current customer that uses it for used car operations.
Yeah, I bet I could see a total use case for that. Even me, who I don't have a body shop, but I've got a lot of body shops I work with. If there was a way to have a partnership with one of them and go, here you go. Here's a couple customers from today that might be.
Why am I so crazy to say, why don't body shops that don't have dealerships love this? I mean, is that a crazy question to ask? I guess I
I
don't
would
know
think they'd
enough
love it.
about that.
Yeah, so I'll answer that. We exist outside of CCC, and we exist and so yes, they should have it. But our biggest value proposition is getting business outside of your current workflows, i.e., people who are not. We get people to your shop and we give them enough information for them to make a repair decision. And so, independent body shops, yes, you can put us on your website. We have after hours calling, so you can gain leads that way. You can put us on a QR code. I, yeah, our main ICP are the dealerships because it's such a. I think in general, even independent body shops need to be having dealership partnerships, and they need to be going away from insurance and more towards the OEM. I mean, that's just my belief. Some other people might agree or might disagree with me. But insurance is really hurting OEMs too, because that kind of the story I told you earlier. They're also total lossing vehicles. So I think independent body shops need this as well.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, I mean, to me, like I said, I've been in the body shop business my whole life just through the dealership, but I understand the body shop, and I've written estimates and seen other people write estimates.
Do
This
you guys
is,
offer like a white label service? Like if I had an independent body shop and I've got a website and I just had a link on there for, do up your own estimate and they could white label it as their own type of a thing. Do you offer that?
Yeah, we just get our tool. We got a little bit different workflow than what I showed you. It's easier. It's more time consuming, but it's easier to guide the user to take good photos.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they can put the little iframe on their own website.
That's cool because I mean, you could pick up some potential with some SEO and stuff on your own website. You could pick up some potential clients without even doing anything.
Yeah, and I think we'll have a marketing product pretty soon. I don't want to
That's
get
cool.
too ahead of myself, but we'll have a really good marketing product.
really cool tool. I really enjoyed it. I think it's awesome, and it's a good tool.
That's good to hear. We like it. I can't tell you how great our team is. We have such an amazing team. We got people who work way more than what they get paid, and it's because they love the product. We take care of it. Yeah.
This is just one more time for the listeners. This is primarily for dealers with body shops, and there is not yet a real big use case for dealerships without body shops. Is that correct?
We just don't have any customers. It's a harder sell. I mean, we're always running into, well, I sell cars. Why do I need to do any? Even dealerships with body shops, I sell cars. Why would a service need to send leads to the body shop?
I would think if I was an independent body shop in a town that had some dealerships that didn't have body shops, I would pay to have this done in the service drive or whatever if the leads came to me. Like I would see that, man, just a potential opportunity for some independent body shops trying to drum up some more business.
I mean, the volume is there to where, we do preach service advisors doing it, but it's profitable enough and the money is there for a body shop to hire someone whose only job is to run this tool. I mean, they've tried to do it in the past and it's never profitable because they can only write so many estimates in a day, and this is a numbers game. If you're looking at a 10% close rate and you're writing 3 a day, that's not really good. But if 100 cars are coming through and 40 of those are damaged and you have a 10% close rate, well, now you're looking at 4 new booked repair orders a day. And so by putting a single junior estimator in the lane, he can hit that volume to where the numbers start to work for body shops to afford to send someone.
Am I allowed to ask how much this costs a month?
Yeah, so it's $600 for that as a single dealer, single body shop.
Cheap as shit.
Per month?
Yeah.
God. How do you say no?
We're gonna have to double that.
Hey,
Yeah, holy smokes! This is a no-brainer at that. I was thinking it was going to have a comma in it for sure.
Yeah.
Wow. I think you're underpriced, but regardless, if you're listening to this podcast, watching this podcast, holy
for now,
smokes.
that's the price for now. Yeah.
Yeah, jump on this deal.
And you'll get grandfathered in. So.
And they're not paying us anything at all, but wow, I just want to clear that up. Like we get no benefit or kickback from this one bit, but that just seems like a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, I love the product, Sam. I think it's amazing. From a person who's been involved in the body shop business for a long time, it's much faster than a human. I obviously am not going to attest to the accuracy because I've never ran it against anybody here, but I'm going to assume that you're telling me the truth because I don't
But
think you
even
would
if
lie.
it gets like, I just had this conversation with Allegra today about having Claude do some of our bank rec and credit card rec, et cetera. Even if it gets 80% of it done and you only have to handle the 20%, it has still created enough value, especially at that price point where the human can go, okay. Because really, I think what you're trying to do is the customer interested?
Yeah.
And here's the tickle. And once they're interested, as long as it's fairly accurate, once they're interested, then the human can go and the heavy lifting has been done.
And that's why we create our left and right limits. That's why we want to give a range, because
Yeah.
it gives us a little bit more of operating under.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you tuning in. That is ETX, episode 8 with Josh and Sam. What an amazing tool, Sam. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you coming out. And $600 a month is a steal.
Man, I'm glad we finished with that because I liked the product before, and now it's like, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, well, we're out here trying to help people.
I love it.
I don't make
People
money
helping
unless
people.
you make money.
That's right.
All right,
Cool.
I appreciate everyone. Nice
Sam,
meeting
thank you
everyone.
for your time, buddy. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Sam, don't leave.